So obviously I'm on the road a lot today, which is why you're getting so many videos of this. But I just wanted to kind of, share some things that I learned through the ministry I worked for several years, and the program I went through, which was Teen Challenge, Freedom House Adult Teen Challenge, actually, to be specific. So shout out to them. And from my own studying. And if you have ever been an addict to pills, or more specifically the ones that make you super paranoid, like Ice Ice Baby kind of stuff, okay, if you're catching my drift. And actually, let me backtrack for a minute. So God did not give all of us the ability to see into the spirit realm, right? The spiritual realm that is around us all the time, many of us do not see. And most of that is for our protection. Yes, there are some people that have shared, their story. I cannot validate whether it's true or not. I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you is this, that he does put a spiritual covering over our spiritual eyes to not be able to see into the spirit realm. And going back to somebody who has ever been addicted to specific type of drugs that cause paranoia and hallucinations, I wanted to share something that I learned in this program and through a book I read called METH equals sorcery. And it is a very powerful book. So if you have ever been an addict to Ice Ice Baby, you're trying to turn a new leaf and you're trying to turn your life around, please pick that book up, because it is a very good book and it helps you really understand what you are seeing. But when you step into that type of life and you start doing those things and ingesting them into your body, however you are doing that, it lifts that spiritual blinder in the spirit realm. And so those tree people, the helicopter police, all the things you were seeing, it was not just a hallucination. Some of it may have been, and I don't know because I wasn't you. But what I do know is that by stepping into that darkness and it lifting the blinders from our spiritual eyes, we were then seeing the demonic spiritual realm. And that is who the tree people were. And I share that because I want y'all to understand that even though you no longer see those things and you are maybe on the other side or of the addiction, or you are no longer, you don't have like a permanent paranoid state of mind and you're not hallucinating, that demonic spiritual realm is still very present. And it is still very much around us. And one of the things that, and it talks about this in the Bible, it is very biblical, and I'm sure I'm going to get called a heretic and everything else. But one of the things that Jesus did for us when he came to earth was he wanted to bring freedom to his people. And that freedom was deliverance from a demonic stronghold. And there is no other way to say it but this: Christians have demons. Yes, I said it. We have demons. And most of them have either come in through sin, they have come in through generational They have come in through so many different ways, right? Like somebody who has lived a perfect life that grew up in an amazing, generationally blessed household may not have demons, okay? But people that have ever drifted off into rebellion, who had generation after generation of horrible abuse, generational curses, all of that gets passed down unless somebody breaks it in their family. And so Christians have demonic attachments. And when Jesus went to the man that was in the synagogue, and it says he had an unclean spirit. I talked about it. It's in Luke 4. It said he had an unclean spirit. He was in the church. He was a Christian man. And he needed deliverance. And Christ set him free that day. So I say all of that to say this, that do not think that just because you are a Christian and you've been saved, that you don't have anything that God needs to deliver you of. Many times, the next layer of freedom comes from deliverance of the demonic. There is so much that our churches do not preach about because either they truly do not understand, they do not know, they are blind to the truth, or they don't believe in it. And we have allowed the enemy so much power in our Christian lives because we have been unwilling to combat and stand up for the truth of what God's word taught us, what Jesus Christ himself taught us that we should be doing. And that is delivering people from demons, healing the sick, healing the blind, healing whatever, bringing them to freedom, discipling people. Like, these are the things that we should be doing as Christians, but everybody is so scared to say it, or they're too scared to admit, or they don't want the blinders removed because they would rather believe the lie. And I don't understand that, because 90% of my freedom came from deliverance. 90%. So I truly hope that one day more blinders will be removed. I hope that y'all challenge this word and that you will go back and you will read the word for what it says itself, because every time Jesus went to heal the sick, it specifically says in every Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, when it talks about Jesus healing the sick, it then has it as one sentence as he came and healed the mute, dumb, demon possessed. So if Jesus did it and we are to do what Jesus did, why do we think we are so holier than now that we don't have the same issues that were happening back then when our world is 10 times worse than it ever was? Please go back, read it for yourself. Don't come after me if you don't agree. It's okay. If you want to have an honest Q&A, I would be happy. But there are so many people that need freedom, and nobody is preaching about it. So I will on here. I'm going to start doing lives, and I'm going to start sharing more and more about this. But I love y'all.